On this episode of the Third and Thirsty podcast, we get into who from the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders have the best chance of winning end of the season awards. Broncos got one last year. How many are they going to get this year? Also, we draw some hot takes. How many sacks is Tuli going to have? What's Courtland Sutton's future with the Broncos like? And will Pete Carroll finally get the Raiders to stop sucking? We get into it now. Let's go. Welcome into the Third and Thirsty podcast, your one-pot stop for Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City referee, and Taylor Swift free AFC West banter. I'm the host, Alex Bell. I'm a Bronco fan, witness to 3 Super Bowls. To my left, I have Omar Rubio, Charger fan, witness to 0 Super Bowls. To my right, Edgar Larios, live for and witness to 0 Raiders Super Bowls. We finally made it, fellas. We finally made it to July. It's the first month of football, technically. July 31st, Chargers taking on the Lions.
Can't wait. Hall of Fame game for the Chargers. They haven't had one of these in forever. It feels like, I don't know if it might be the first one, but it sure seems fit because we are getting one of our own getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, Antonio Gates. We've talked about it before. Well-deserved. One of the best in our era, I feel like, if not top 2.
He was all right.
If not top 2. The only guy that I see could put up numbers in our era, his era would be maybe Tony Gonzalez. Besides him, there's nobody else at that position. Yep. Well deserved.
They were the guys for sure. Before him, obviously, was Shannon Sharp. And maybe Brock Bowers might be carrying on the tradition of AFC West tight ends. I hope not. How was our weekend? Long weekend, 4th of July weekend.
Good. It was all right. Didn't really do much. Just spent time with my family. We didn't barbecue, so we just ordered some food and just hang out, play some dominoes.
Nice.
Definitely barbecued. Alex did some barbecuing for us over on the 4th of July.
Ribs and tri-tip.
Yep. And then I did some of my own barbecuing yesterday. Just finished off the weekend. But yeah, it was really good food all weekend. Probably put on like 5 pounds between all the that's beer. On the low side, probably closer to 10 pounds with all the eating and drinking I did over the weekend. But now, during the week, back on the right train, trying to lose those 10 pounds off after today.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into it. We're just in the middle of the dry season here. We're coming up with things to talk about. We're going to talk about end of the season awards. I think we'll start with maybe MVP, the big one. Before we do that, give a shout out to all of our new followers on Instagram. If you haven't followed us, at Third and Thirsty Podcast. And then shout out to anybody subscribing on YouTube. Hit us with a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't yet. If you like what we're doing, get this thing off the ground, and we're getting some traction. I'd like to keep it going before the season goes. So let's hop into it. MVP. Who's winning it? If one of our guys wins it.
I mean, it's usually a quarterback-driven award. I mean, we're all going to be vying for each person's quarterback. Of course, I'm going to go Herbert. And why Herbert over everybody else is because he's already put up, I think, more numbers than all 3 in his rookie year. Went and just did like godly things in his rookie year. Run that rookie of the year. Edgar's always saying that. What was he saying last week with Charles Woodson? Try to keep bringing that up. It was rookie of the year. So I'm bringing it up now, Edgar.
It's not really relevant to winning the MVP in 2025.
But still, he's already proven that he can do it. Hopefully he'll have a better line, better weapons around him this year.
So he can choke again in the playoffs.
Hopefully a running game.
I knew that would be your candidate going into this, of course, because, I mean, if you had to look at like Bet365 or DraftKings odds, of course, out of anybody on the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders, Herbert's going to be the number one when it comes to odds. It would be really funny for him to win MVP because if he's going to win the MVP, you obviously have to think that Chargers are going to win the AFC West. That comes along with it, right? You assume that.
Yeah, definitely.
If you win the AFC West, a good chance you're winning the AFC. You're going to be the first seed in the playoffs. So it would just be the funniest shit ever to see him get a bye and then have the 4th, 5th, or 6th, or 7th seed roll in and just kick the shit out of him. He throws like 5 interceptions. It would just be the most Herbert thing ever. So part of me actually kind of hopes that he wins MVP because it would just, I know it'll pay off in the end. After the divisional game, I know even if the Broncos are out of it, I'll have a good time on the pod.
Says the hater in the middle.
The hater in the middle, man. That's me. That's me. I don't know, man. I wanted to make a case for Bo Nix, but he's going into a second year. That's going to be real tall order. Not going to lie. Hypothetically, obviously not doing it for real. I do not gamble illegally. Also, shout out to California trying to take away fantasy sports betting now. But besides the point, if I could legally put money on Bo Nix to win the MVP, I probably still would sprinkle some money on there. Maybe $20-$30 because that would be quite the payoff. I don't know what his odds are right now. Obviously, if Bo Nix wins the MVP, then Broncos are winning the AFC West and handily because he would be balling out of control to be able to get that. But I think more realistically, Bo Nix is looking at MVP later on in his career.
I mean, the only way I could see him doing it is just because he does have Sean Payton calling plays for him, which is just super quarterback friendly. Get the ball out of his hands quick routes by the receivers, even just quick dump offs to the running backs will get him a lot of yards, a lot of receptions. So yeah, that's why I could see that happening.
Yeah, and he'll have to step up in big moments like he did last year. He was robbed of a couple of really big moments. Number one coming to mind is that first Chiefs game when he drove down the field, extended the drive on that third down, big pass to Courtland Sutton, was able to drain the time off the clock, and then Alex Forsythe went out there and fell backwards and let them block the kick. If that didn't happen, we'd still be talking about Bo Nix's drive there, which obviously that's not what's talked about now.
Nope.
Bo Nix would need to have 6, 7, 8 of those moments for him to be able to win MVP next year, which I think Bo Nix will win an MVP at some point in his career. Next year might be a little soon. So
I mean, he did get a little bit exposed in the playoff game. He was a little overmatched. It was his first year, but still, I mean, that could, get on his confidence, bring his confidence down a little bit. There is that, not maybe a rookie slump, but a sophomore slump, but a sophomore, a little bit of a lull. Maybe you don't take the jump that you thought you may have. Maybe people say that about Texans quarterback CJ Stroud. He didn't have a bad season. He just didn't grow exponentially from what people thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
So there could be just that, stay even, maybe come up a little bit, but still not grow as much as you would hope he would. Maybe that's like year 3, maybe year 4, where he kind of he took the league by storm last year. Maybe they're starting to figure him out. He's got to play that counter, and that's just how it goes with a lot of players, not just quarterbacks, but a lot of players.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I know it's a nice, easy, lazy take to have that someone's going to have a sophomore slump. But I just don't see it with having Bo Nix. The running game last year was atrocious, even behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. Their rush block race was in the top 3 of the league, I believe. And their running backs just could not come up with anything. I was watching, just because I'm itching for football, I was watching highlights from the Falcons game.
The one team that they could beat.
Yeah, they only won one game last year. But anyways, it just popped up on my YouTube feed. Hopefully the Third and Thirsty podcast popped up on yours. But it was Javonte Williams. It was a hole wide open, and he just runs with his head down and bounces off the back of Quinn Miners, runs for like 8 yards. But if he didn't do that, it would have been easy touchdown. The Broncos have upgraded their running back room exponentially, hopefully with Harvey. We'll talk about him a little bit later. But Dobbins has already proven to be a pretty good running back. That running game is going to give Bo Nix a lot of help this year, which he did not have last year at all. So as confident as I am that Bo Nix probably won't win MVP this year, I'm very confident he's still going to take a step forward and be even better, especially since when you look at his first 3-4 games, well, 3 out of his first 4 games last year, he was awful. I got to see it firsthand week 2 against the Steelers. He just wasn't quite ready yet. After that, I mean, played much, much better. And I think he'll play even better than that next season, starting week 1. Edgar, have anybody you want to throw out there for MVP race?
I do, but it's not a quarterback because I'm not putting Geno Smith as the MVP.
God, I was hoping you would do that.
As much as I do think that Chip Kelly is going to help Gino play his best, it's still not going to be like MVP worthy or whole NFL MVP worthy.
No.
I put it to two of our top weapons, and that's Bowers and Ashton Genty. I feel like either one of those two can actually get, if it's not offensive player of the year, probably MVP, but Bowers would have to have one of the most insane careers that ever any players ever put up. Because usually, if usually the quarterback's the one that's balling, they're the ones that are going to win the MVP. So I mean, maybe Ashton Genty, but yeah, I am not putting Gino up there.
I see why you say both, because one doesn't really take away from the other. There's always, they're both on offense, but I mean, one's running the ball, one's receiving for the most part. So, I can see actually them helping each other out for that, have better seasons because of each other.
No, yeah, I definitely see that, but like we all know that winning MVP is mostly a quarterback position.
Definitely.
So I mean, what would they have to do? I don't know, but if there's anybody in this team right now that can get MVP, it's one of those two players.
So numbers wise, what would Bowers have to do you think to get there?
He'd have to go out of control.
Yeah, what do you think, he would have to he would have to beat Jerry Rice's 1 year single season yards, yeah, and he would have to just be everybody that's that has the record for the most touches, the most touchdowns, all this. But if you really look into it, that quarterback is gonna stats are also gonna be up, so it's gonna be it's kind of like, okay, why not just give it to Gino if he has all those stats, But yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah, I know. Edgar and I are just seeing what we could come up with for this MVP race conversation, but just doing a little digging here while you're talking. The last rookie to win MVP was actually a running back. You guys want to take a guess who it was?
Was it Breece Hall?
No. Way
older?
Way before that. MVP.
AJ Peterson?
No,
probably way before that.
We're going back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Is it
Jim
a house?
Brown. Oh. Jim Brown, 1957.
Okay. I'm like, is it a household name?
It is.
I was going to say maybe
Brown's,
Bo Jackson, but no.
No, arguably Jim Brown's one of the greatest players of all time. He won MVP rookie year. The season for the NFL was obviously a little bit short, but he led the league in rushing yards in 942 yards.
What was that, 14 games?
9-2-1 records, so 12 games.
Yeah, 12 games.
And then the single season receiving yards record is Calvin Johnson, 2012, 1,964 yards. So you
numbers wise, you'd probably have to get 1,500, 12 touchdowns.
I don't know, man. For him to get MVP, you're probably looking at 2,000 yards.
Yeah, at least 2,000.
But I'm
just
saying,
completely unstoppable. Every time he goes out there, just single-handedly wins a couple.
That's what I'm saying. We're 12, maybe more, 15 touchdowns.
Yeah,
15 and 15, 1,500 and 15 touchdowns.
15 and 15, classic. That would be wild if either one. But it would also be wild if Bo Nix won an MVP this year. Also, we'll say it would be wild if Justin Herbert's won the MVP. So we'll say that more than likely we're not going to have MVP out of our three teams.
I think out of the three, though, I think Justin Herbert's probably
for sure.
The best.
Again, if you're looking at betting odds, I guarantee Vegas would agree with you. Again, it would just be even funnier when he blows it in the playoffs. Let's see here. What do you guys want to go with next? MVP out of the way.
We already went offense for the most part because that award is for offense. Much, yeah. Let's go defense. Defensive player of the year.
Okay. I'll start. I mean, PS2 obviously won last year. If PS2 won it again, he'd be the first corner to win it twice. So even if he has a year that warrants him winning the defensive player of the year, more than likely the voters are probably going to give it to somebody else. They don't like to give it to corners in the first place.
Yeah, I would say it's more of a edge.
More of an edge player. So I I think PS2 could definitely have that type of caliber year again, and I think he will. I think he might even be even better. But if I had to pick someone on the edge, it would be Benito. He was in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation all the way up until like week 14, week 15. He was right up there. I think he was like the third highest betting odds or something at some point. 13 and a half sacks last year, third in the league. And then he had those 2 pick sixes, which I guess one was called a fumble for some reason. So he has that big playability. He's not just an edge rusher, but he can come off the edge, drop into coverage, and come up with big plays. He would obviously need a lot more than 2 to snatch that award. But who knows? I mean, the Broncos defense is going to be so good next year. He's going to have a lot of opportunities to make plays like that. So if I had to pick one from the Broncos, it would be Benito for sure.
Well, there'll probably be 2 games where we won't get a sack against the Chargers, so basically cancel those games out for him.
Okay. You have anybody on defense you want to give a shout out to?
Like you said, usually it's an edge player, but I think with the year that this player that I'm about to say had last year, sky's the limit. Second year in the defense under Jesse Minter. Derwin James, he's already a household name, and which is, again, all these awards are somewhat of a popularity contest as far as the voters go. But yeah, I think Derwin James coming off the edge last year, well, from the slot, blitzing the quarterback, had an awesome season. Didn't have as many interception opportunities just because he was closer to the line, either guarding tight ends, running backs, or blitzing the quarterback, or even just playing the slot. He actually was a all-pro, second team all-pro out of the slot this year, which is that's not even his position. He's a safety. So I think just under this new second year, but new regime is just going to be a lot easier, a lot more natural for him.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty tall order for someone who's moving around the defense like that to win that award. Last time a safety won Defensive Player of the Year was actually Troy Polamalu, 2010. That's not too long ago. Shout out Troy Polamalu if you're listening. So that might be a little tough. He would have to come up with a lot of big plays to win that, and you'd have to be pretty high in the sacks. Do you remember what he had last year in sacks?
I want to say he had 4 or 5. So that's what I said. He'd have to come up to like over 6.
5.5 sacks.
Yeah. So he'd have to be over 6, maybe 7 sacks and like 5 picks. I think that would get him there, and then still going to stack up on all those tackles. He'll probably have over 130 tackles still.
I think he'd really have to have those big game-changing plays.
That's why I say the picks would have to come into play.
Big picks, not garbage time picks, but
true.
Game-changing picks. Kind of like when PS2 picked off Gardner Minshew and ran it back for 6, and essentially not just turn around that game, but turn around the Broncos season at that point. You remember that?
I remember.
Who you got, man?
I got Max Crosby.
Yeah, totally.
That's basically the easiest one to go to.
Yeah.
The last couple of years, he's always been nominated for Defensive Player of the Year, but always comes in short. But I feel like with the help they have this year, and if can't even say his first name, or Watson, whatever, that defensive tackle, if he ends up coming back healthy, it just makes his job so much more easier. But if he doesn't, I believe that Adam Butler is good enough to help, and especially with those rookie defensive tackles, they're going to be able to help him out and throw them in that middle. But yeah, I honestly feel like Crosby, he's coming back healthy, and he wants to basically just show that he can basically take over this whole defense.
Yeah, Max Crosby is a good pick. Again, if we're looking at odds, I'd be one to bet he's probably the highest out of the 3 we've been talking about today. Actually, Mahomes just said he's the best edge rusher he's he's faced in his career.
He's one of the only guys that sacked him the most, which is kind of surprising because I thought it was somebody from the Eagles or something.
The Eagles just kick their ass every time. Yeah, well, I mean, the Raiders obviously play the Chiefs a little bit more.
Twice a year, so yeah.
Yeah, Max Crosby's definitely a good pick. I'm hoping Benito squeezes it out. Crosby was hurt for a good portion of last year, so.
But like we said, it's edge.
Definitely have the best chances.
Yeah.
I wish I had put, again, hypothetically, I do not gamble legally on football. I wish I had put some money on Patrick Surtain at the beginning of last season because I'm sure his odds were like through the roof to win Defensive Player of the Year. But he came out and did it. And I think he'll put out a season that's going to match it or be even better. But it's just hard to give a corner a award twice. It's never been done. And they like to give it to edge players. So what should we move on to next, fellas?
Offensive?
We kind of covered offensive player. I mean, we could do skill players.
We do rookies or no?
Yeah, let's do some rookie talk. Okay. Let's see. Let's start with offense.
All right. Obvious. Well, ours are obvious. First rounders. I think we're all gonna go with our
highest pick
running backs.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I'm gonna go with my running back, even though I don't think he'll get it because he'll be sharing time with Najee Harris there, at least at the beginning of the season. Hopefully by the end he'll take the reins and be the RB1 because he'll probably be the more explosive of the two, just because he is a better receiver from the backfield, is a little bit quicker laterally, about the same size. Najee is a little heavier, so Najee will be that hammer, and then hopefully Hampton can have that lightning, no pun intended,
bolt up cornballs. It's the corniest shit ever. Go ahead.
So yeah, I think if I had to pick, actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna go Trey Harris. Trey Harris, their second round pick for receiver. He probably would have led the NCAA in receptions and receiving yards if he hadn't gotten hurt last year, and I think that's what made him drop so far into the second round. It was the Chargers, after they got out of the first round, it was their highest ranked rookie or ranked receiver, so they were really hoping that he fell to him, and it just fell in his lap and in their lap, and it was too easy of a pick for them to make. But I think he's going to take over that X receiver role. He probably won't start off in it as the starter, but I think he'll take it over sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. We got Lad McConkey in that wide receiver core there too.
But it's different like receiver roles.
Totally.
Lad is going to be more slot. He does play outside. But...
Right, you can still only throw the ball to one guy though.
True.
Right. I mean, Justin Herbert ain't that good.
He only had one guy to throw to last year, and it was Lad. So this year, hopefully, he has more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll save Genty for last because we know that's where Egger's going. It makes a lot more sense. I kind of want to go Harvey too, but the same thing. He'll be sharing with Dobbins. So I'm going to go with our wide receiver, Pat Bryant. I've talked about him a little bit on the pod too. If Pat Bryant has the type of year where he's winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, the Broncos are going to be in a really, really good spot. Sean Payton's talked about him a lot, even compared him a little bit to Michael Thomas. It's quite the comparison for him to give. But if he steps up, especially in that crowded wide receiver room, and makes himself the number 2, maybe even the number 1 target, then the sky's going to be the limit for the Broncos as a team, because you're going to have so much talent in that wide receiver room, really spreading out. So if I had to pick one of the rookies to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, it would definitely be Pat Bryant for sure.
In that scheme, that is probably a better pick. Because, like I said, he gets.
He's a big guy. He can run those quick slants. He has really good ball skills. A lot of word from camp. Again, believe it or not, Third and Thirsty podcast, we're not invited to these camps as part of the media
yet.
So we have to learn everything secondhand. But Pat Bryant is getting credit for having the best hands on the team already. So throwing those tight windows, having him go in and grabbing those balls. Pause. I mean, if he could do that all season long, put up some big numbers, maybe he could put himself in the conversation. We'll see.
That's going to be exciting, but also concerning.
About balls?
No, well, yeah, that too. But just like if he's already has the best hands in the team, then, man, the rest of your team's not great catching.
Yeah, but I mean, you've already seen what like Courtland Sutton could do when he comes up with those crazy catches. I mean, obviously the Broncos have players that have hands on the team. It's more of a compliment than a negative comment towards the other players. So I'm definitely not concerned about Courtland Sutton's hands. We've seen him make some crazy catches. Ashton Jeanty. Let's hear about Ashton Jeanty's chances to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
So, yeah, Ashton Jeanty, he's definitely my biggest pick.
Yeah.
This offense is going to run it's going to be doing a lot of runs with the running back, so he's definitely going to get a lot of his chances to get all these yards. But I honestly feel like he's a dual type of running back where he can actually catch the ball from the outside too. Sadly, I guess the new offensive coordinator that they had last year in Boise State didn't really throw the ball too much at him, but I guess the year before that he had at least 400 or 500 yards in catching. So I do see him getting plenty of the ball, catching or running. But I don't know. At this point for me is just I hear so much that he's gonna be one of the top runners, and I just can't wait for the season to start. Basically, I mean I know there's plenty of running backs that came out this year from the draft, so it's gonna be pretty interesting to see which one of all the running backs is gonna be going for that trophy for the Offensive Player of the Year. But I honestly would, if I could bet, I would put Ashton Jeanty on top.
Yeah, again, he's probably going to have the best odds. And he's in the best situation. He's going to be the bell cow there.
Yeah, he will have the best runway there.
For sure. And in an offense that is going to rely on him pretty heavily. Not just for him to run the ball, but using him as a play action threat. Opening up the offense for Geno Smith, because that's when he really thrives. Ashton Jeanty is definitely going to have plenty of opportunities to really ball out this year. So we'll see if he steps up to the plate. I mean, I think he will. I don't think there's anyone here that doubts that Ashton Jeanty is going to be a good player.
No, and you need that to be a decent team this year. You know,
especially in the SC West, where it's just going to be so pound and ground.
No, I've seen people be saying that if the Raiders were in any other division, they'll be like, oh yeah, they're gonna win a lot of games, but because the AFC West is so stacked,
especially on the defensive side,
yeah, it's gonna be a hard way up to the top, basically.
Yeah, he's gonna run into some buzzsaws for sure against the Chargers and the Broncos specifically. We won't mention the other team, but he definitely is in a pretty good position to have a pretty good season, just by how much he's going to be getting the ball. So again, most likely it'll be Ashton if it's going to be anybody. He's got to be the betting favorite, right? I mean,
probably.
Yeah, there can't be any other rookie that's higher.
He's already the starter. And
yeah,
I don't think there's any other rookies that are coming in already the number one bona fide starter.
For sure. You guys want to do quick comeback player of the year? You guys have candidates for that?
Let's do defensive rookie. And then
oh,
go
I'm
that
sorry.
way.
Yeah, we forgot
defensive
defense.
rookie.
Can't forget
Keep
the
it with
defense,
the roots, bro.
Yeah. Who wants to start? I'll go. If you guys
go for
want
it.
to think about it. Yeah, I mean, Jahdae Barron. Obviously, Broncos first round pick, number 20, shocked the world in taking him. Everyone thought the Broncos were going to be taking offense. I was one of them. They went out and took Jahdae Barron, who's going to be essentially the joker of the defense. Now, coming into a defense like the Broncos, Jahdae is going to have a lot of opportunities to really be able to take chances. When you're looking at defensive rookie of the year candidates, it's going to be players that make some big plays and really stand out, hit them highlight reels. Jahdae Barron could definitely do that. The way he's going to be moving around all over that defense from the inside to the outside slot to the outside covering other receivers. He's going to get a lot of opportunities to be able to jump some passes, jump some routes, especially with the way the Broncos blitz and send guys after the quarterback. So I have a pretty good feeling he's going to have some really big plays this year and really step up into a role that he's going to be kind of like the next Chris Harris Jr. For the Broncos, really locking down that slot corner. So he would definitely be my candidate. If I had to guess from the three of us, he'd probably be the highest on the list.
Probably.
If we're looking at Defensive Rookie of the Year.
He'll probably have the most opportunities to get that, all the numbers to get that.
And he benefits so much from being on the Broncos defense where it's going to be, the best defense in the league, but at the very worst, a top 5. So he'll have his opportunities and he'll be able to step into a big role at some point, I'm sure.
And he won't be pressured to be that number 1 guy because there's already a number 1 guy there.
Absolutely. And Riley Moss as well, who's played really well last year. I expect to play even better next year, not having to deal with an injury. So, just he's going to be a real versatile player. He's going to be able to come in and make plays. Jahdae.
For the Chargers, I think there's only 2 guys that go with. There are 4 defensive players taken, but 2 of them were like a 7th round and a 6th rounder who are going to be fighting for a roster spot. Is either Jamari Caldwell, like a defensive tackle that they took out of Oregon, or nah, it can't be him. It's got to be the edge rusher they took out of, I think, North Carolina, South Carolina. God, I'm blanking on his name right now. But he was I think he had the most sacks in the NCAA last year. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. But it would have to be because of like injury to either one of their 2, maybe 3 starting edge rushers.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, but yeah, the defensive players that we took this year are mainly going to be fighting for roster spots, fighting for depth. I don't really see anybody really getting to that defensive player of the year, at least getting the snaps to get to that.
Especially if you can't even remember their name. They must
suck. Yeah. I suck for not remembering his name.
Too many beers this weekend.
I had it, but I lost it.
Edgar, who you got?
Our 3rd round pick, Darian Porter from Iowa.
Yeah.
First of all, I started noticing that Iowa players are really good coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was he just signed a big contract with the Niners. Was that quarterback's name Purdy?
Yeah. Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I couldn't think about his name.
We all had too many beers this weekend.
But
Carl Kennard was the guy's name that I was thinking about.
But anyways, back to this one. He was a receiver, really good receiver, but the defense was thin on corner, so he turned corner, and he had a really good season. Even though he's only been a corner for like 1 season, he had a really good one, and he knows like every route. So for him, it's like right now what they're trying to like in practice, what they're trying to help him out is that to not overthink and try to cover every single route or try to like fall for everything, like trust your instinct basically.
Yeah.
And he's been playing really good. He's been playing with the number 1s right now. So there's a good chance that he's going to start the season. But I'm really excited to see him play. His experience only with 1 year of being a corner, that's probably not the best, but the fact that he knows everything about a receiver, that he's going to just be able to like cover anybody. When it comes down to somebody who's smart, he might have some difficulties, but even the coaches are saying that when he messes up once, he fixes it. Like he's not the type of player where he continues to having the same mix-ups all the time. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see this guy.
That's pretty big for a rookie. Some pretty good praise. Obviously, he kind of fits the Pete Carroll mold too when it comes to size. Big.
Yeah, 6'5" and 215
corner. So who knows? He might be able to put up a fight, but I think when it comes down to it, I think if we're looking at it, more than likely, Jade is going to be the highest betting odds.
Yeah, he already has basically this starting spot, and gonna get the snap count.
More than likely, he'll be starting in the slot, which, I mean, the Broncos are going to have so much depth at corner. Behind him is going to be Shaquan McMillan, or if you're Joe Buck, McMillian, who had a really good year last year, even better year the year before. So, I mean, Broncos are set right there. Comeback player of the year. You guys want to do a quick one? Then we'll do coach of the year, and then we'll jump into some hot takes. Okay, I think both of these are going to be pretty quick. My comeback player of the year candidate for sure is Dre Greenlaw. Wasn't even with the Broncos last year. Obviously coming over from San Francisco. Has some really big years in 22 and 23. He tore that Achilles in the Super Bowl in the most unfortunate way possible, coming off the field in celebration. Almost like, you remember Grammatica, the kicker?
Yes. He jumped up,
tore his ACL. Except he tore his Achilles, which, gosh dang, it feels like we just hear about that more and more in all different sports. Halliburton, Durant. I mean, just going down the line, obviously Kobe, RIP, the GOAT. But if Dre Greenlaw comes out, plays really well, nice thing about the Broncos and their training staff, they've really got injuries down the last couple of years. Bo Lowry, he's the guy that I forgot his name a couple weeks ago. He's the head trainer over there in Denver now, and ever since he's came in, the injuries have really dropped down to the lowest in the league. So if he could keep Dre Greenlaw healthy and he comes out and plays like he did, especially with Joseph's offense where there's a high blitz rate, he could go in there and get some sacks. When he does drop back into coverage, he's one of the best in the game at covering. So he's really going to come in handy when it comes to even guys in the AFC West like Bowers and Kelsey, who's super washed. I think I could cover him at this point. But yeah, I mean, Dre Greenlaw, if he returns to form, he's definitely going to be up there in the candidates for sure.
For the Chargers,
I was going to say, when do you guys want to
the comeback player for me, I think would have to be Junior Colson. Last year was his rookie year. He had a really rough start to his rookie year off the bat. He had a spleen rupture or something going on that he had to deal with in training camp. Then he pulled his hamstring that was in mini camp, and then in training camp he pulled his hamstring, and then throughout the year he was dealing with little nagging injuries where he didn't really get on the field that much. He was thought
that was his rookie year last year?
Yeah, and he was thought to maybe be a starter coming into the season as a rookie because he was coming in as the linebacker that won the national championship with Jesse Minter, with Harbaugh.
Sure.
They drafted him, I want to say 3rd round, maybe 4th round. And so they thought it was just going to be a seamless transition. You're going to show everybody else the defense. You already know. But just all these injuries, just nagging injuries throughout the year. I think he was on the IR once, maybe twice.
Yeah, I get they thought he was going to have a really good season, but to win comeback player of the year, you have to come back to some sort of form that he had in the NFL. Sounds like he hasn't done shit yet.
He hasn't done shit, but there was a lot of expectations from him, is what I'm saying.
You can't win comeback player of the year off of expectations of what they thought you were going to be. That's a bad candidate.
There's nobody else. Nobody else that's been hurt for the a long period of time.
You should have just said, I'm going to sit this one out.
No.
Damn,
sorry, we have a good training staff that kept everybody healthy last year.
The Chargers
shout out to Ben Herbert.
Ben Herbert.
Yeah, you guys ever know Ben Herbert?
The first time in a long time. Anyways, my comeback player would be Malcolm Kuntz. In the end of the 2023 season, he ended up with 8 sacks when he wasn't even starter in 2023. But he ended up taking over, and yeah, he was just doing great. The start of 2024, coordinators were excited about him. Everybody was excited. He looked great. He was just jumping off the edge. He was doing everything, and then literally the last week of like mini camp. I think it was the last week, even for like the preseason games. He just tore his ACL. Once that happened, it was just like everybody's just was quiet. Everybody was sad about it. Like he literally just, he was ready for that season. He was ready to like get paid, but unfortunately that injury happened, and I feel like he's coming back just twice as like strong. Basically, he's flying off the edge. Basically, where he left off last year. The only bad thing is that usually people who do come off of ACL injuries aren't like right away. Like, they don't really get back to their like old ways right away. They're still kind of cautious about certain things.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But I'm definitely excited to see him and Crosby again. And hopefully,
Yeah. We'll definitely see. I mean, playing across from Crosby definitely helps. ACL injuries are tough to come back from. But I like Drake Greenlaw's chances if we're looking at R2. First one didn't count. Let's take a look at, Coach of the Year. Go ahead.
First of all, I had to look this up. You said that it's not fair to win a Comeback Player of the Year award if you didn't do shit really your first year. Didn't Joe Burrow win Comeback Player of the Year award after his rookie year where he got hurt like a couple games into the season, tore his ACL? Next year, came back and won the Comeback Player of the Year.
I'm sure he did more than whoever the hell you were talking about.
Doesn't matter. He had a couple games. That doesn't do anything. A couple games is nothing. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to come back to top level. Just come back and be top level.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow came into the league as like one of the best prospects of all time.
He hadn't done shit in the league at that point, but hadn't done shit at that point.
At the quarterback position.
Still hadn't done shit at that point.
That's a bad comparison, but
says the hater in the middle.
Hater in the middle, man. That's me. Let's move on to Coach of the Year. Obviously, I mean, we've pretty much already had this debate, so we'll make it real quick. Coach of the Year usually goes to somebody who takes a team and really elevates it from the year before. When you're looking at the Broncos and the Chargers, they obviously had a pretty good season last year. I mean, for Sean Payton or Harbaugh to win it this year, since it's a regular season award, I mean, they're going to have to win like 14, 15 games.
Yeah, I was saying at least 13 or 14 games.
It would have to be a really big season. Pete Carroll's bar is a little bit lower since one of the worst head coaches of all time was there last year, even though Edgar thinks differently. Because he wore a hoodie and said Raiders really cool.
Yeah, sure. That's why.
So, I mean, Pete Carroll obviously has got to have the better chances, right? Because
definitely
they super suck last year.
But I don't think he'll get there to even get that nomination for the award. I don't think it'd have to get up to double-digit wins. I don't think he's going to get up to double-digit wins.
How many wins did they have last year?
5? 4? Even then, Chargers went from 5 to 11, and I don't think Harbaugh even sniffed the
I know, it's kind of wild how they make that decision. Who won last year? O'Connell?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough. That was the Vikings, and they went undefeated. So
no, but it is fair because look who he had as a quarterback, somebody unproven that he brought up, raised up. I mean, yeah, they had the offense around him.
One season.
Yeah, but offense around him, yes. But defense is what surprised me the most, that they were able to keep that defense that had been built up the years prior.
Vikings have always had a good defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was surprised that they were able to keep that defense going prior to that, because he's mainly an offensive coach. Yeah. That had Zimmer before that, and he's the one that built that culture of that defense.
For sure. Okay, well, let's just move on. We've done the offensive we've already done the head coach debate. And
there's one new award. I mean, nobody's won it.
Sure, the offensive lineman. I forgot what they were calling it.
The Protector of the Year.
Yeah, award. Protector of the Year. That's probably going to go to a tackle. Omar wants to bring it up because they have the best tackles. So go ahead and give your opportunity or your nominee. Slater.
Can I do both?
Sure.
Can I just do both offensive tackles? No. Honestly, Slater at this point probably is the better tackle, but I think Joe Alt will have the better year because of who he has next to him. He's got big ass Mekhi Becton next to him, which is going to command double teams. They're going to leave the edge on one-on-one and let him show what he can do. I think that's just going to put him out to everybody else that doesn't already know who he is and saying, like, this is who he is. You know, a lot of one-on-ones will show who you really are, what you're really about.
Yeah, he's definitely primed to have a big year. I'd throw out Quinn Miners, but he's a guard, so it's pretty unlikely that he's going to get that award. Edgar, you have any?
Could be a center. Honestly.
I'll throw JPJ.
Let's say centers are getting a lot of talk nowadays because there's not a lot of good ones. So if you're a good one, then you're really.
I honestly think
it's the first year of the award. They're going to give it to it.
I think definitely is going to go tackle, but I think JPJ is going to end up becoming considered one of the top centers in the NFL.
I agree. I was hoping that the Chargers would have picked him last year. What round did you guys get him in? Second? Yeah. I'm not mad about who the Chargers took in the second round last year, Ladd McConkey, but
yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let's draw some hot takes. You guys ready to draw some hot takes?
Let's get spicy.
Let's get fucking spicy, man. Who wants to get us started? Well, we're going to give some hot takes regarding the Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders. Hopefully some things that you haven't heard from other podcasts, or First Things First, or Coward, or any of the guys that are national dudes. So start it off. What do we got?
I'll get started. First off, let me just bring up, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Third and Thirsty. That's third, the word third, the word and then the word thirsty. So
Thirsty Podcast.
There you go.
That's us.
But I'm gonna bring a hot take is that Tuli Pelotu, edge rusher, he's gonna be a starter this year now with Bosa leaving on to Buffalo, colder pastures. He's gonna lead the team in sacks with 15 sacks.
Ooh.
He had 8 last year, 8.5, which was doubled from the year before. So I'm thinking he's going to double it again with 15 sacks.
Hey, and the year after, he's going to get 30.
We're getting hot with it. We're getting hot with it here. They're spicy takes.
Dude, that's mad spicy.
15 sacks for Tuli. Like I said, he's going to be a starter. He's going to get all the opportunity there that he can get. He's already a really good run defense, but he's been inconsistent. He's shown it in flashes. He's shown what he can do. He's had flashes of like 2 sacks in a game, sacks in every game for a couple games in a row. But it's going to have to be consistent this year. It's going to have to be, but he's going to have the opportunity to do it. So that's why I think that it's a hot take, but
it's for sure a hot take. That would have put him number 2 in the league behind Trey Hendrickson, 1 sack ahead of Myles Garrett last year.
Nope, he's going to have the opportunity. Hey, not saying it will. These are hot takes.
Yeah, we're talking hot takes. If I had to give it on a scale of 1 to 10 on hot takes, I'd probably say a 9, man. That's super, super hot. That's a hot take.
He has the pressures to do it. He just hasn't been able to finish. You know, he's been there, just hasn't been able to finish off the play. So if this year he But do you want a quick finisher? In football, you do, but in other places, you don't. Maybe. But yeah, if he puts it together this year and learns how to finish off the plays, he can definitely get there.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, I thought about maybe saying 12, but I feel like that would have been too easy. That's just I feel like he'll just do that with the extra playing time he's going to get from 8 to 12. That's not that big of a jump.
I mean, it's a 50% jump, so it's kind of a
big
jump.
What he did the year before, he went from 4.5 to 8.5.
Yeah, but you're talking bigger numbers. That still puts him in the top 6 in sacks in the league. Okay.
Yep.
So not hot take.
Very hot take.
Tuli is a top 6 edge rusher in the league next year.
Yeah.
Because he doubled. All right. Like it. Edgar?
Just like in the beginning, I said that about Pete Carroll, My hot take is that Pete Carroll is going to finally take the Raiders out of their slump and start making them contenders.
No more bad years.
No more bad years.
So you guys is going to win like 6 games?
No, what does that mean?
We're winning at least 9 games. Ooh. At least. And then that's not even considering the games that supposedly are going to be like 50-50.
Are you counting like preseason games with those? Or?
That's pretty high, man. In the AFC West, the division, 9 games for the
that'll be 9 games.
Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas or where the fuck they're playing this year, Raiders.
Yeah. Sacramento? Oh no, those are the A's.
Damn, 9. Okay, 9 wins. For the Raiders from Pete Carroll.
What about the Broncos?
Well, I'll start off with something that I don't want to see. But more and more I think about it, I just feel like it's definitely something that can happen. Love this player. Everyone in Bronco country loves this player. And this is Courtland Sutton. He's been a loyal Bronco since he's been drafted years ago now at this point. He's coming into a contract year. Sean Payton doesn't love paying wide receivers except for Michael Thomas, which he had to. He's going to be looking for bigger money.
And that sucks for
him. He's going to be looking for bigger money going into next year. Sean Payton loves the wide receiver room, the depth that he has. I think Courtland Sutton gets traded at the trade deadline. And not because the Broncos are going to be sellers. But I think at that point in the season, 2 other guys are going to be stepping up big roles in the wide receiver room, making Courtland Sutton a valuable trade asset, and they'll move him.
Is this his 5th year on the rookie deal?
No.
He wasn't a first-round pick, right?
No. He's already signed a 2nd deal.
Oh, damn.
He's making $20 million a year now. When you look at production from last year, he had more yards than Devontae Adams last year. Devontae Adams just signed a deal for 28. McLaurin is looking for a new deal, who was just ahead of Courtland in yards. And he's looking at almost 30 when his negotiation of his contract right now, he's looking at $30 million. So Courtland's probably looking at the same amount for next year. I don't know if Sean Payton's going to want to pay him that much. I'd hate to see him leave. That's just the way things go in the NFL. I think he gets moved at the trade deadline. And George Payton uses whatever he gets back in draft capital and moves it for whatever player that they need to fill at that point, whether it's an injury or someone maybe not stepping up on the defensive side.
I don't see it, man. I don't see if they're in playoff contention. Why would you want to get rid of one of your?
But that's what I'm saying. At that point, I feel like at that point in the season, I feel like one of these younger guys is going to be stepping up into a role that's going to be rivaling Court. And,
yeah, but you wouldn't want to get rid of that just for depth purposes. You know what I mean?
There's one thing that the Broncos have a wide receiver position is depth. They
proven
definitely
depth, though.
Not necessarily proven depth, but they definitely have a lot of guys there that they have faith in. Sean Payton has faith in this wide receiver room. And when you're looking at like last year, Court was definitely the guy that Bo relied on. But we brought in Evan Ingram, and he's definitely the guy that you could look at as being a reliable target when you need someone for a 3rd and 4, a 3rd and 5. So
yeah, but why not have 2?
Someone talks.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Is I feel like someone from the wide receiver room is.
That is a hot take because I don't see it happening.
I would hate to see it happen because I love Sutton. And I'd love for him to retire as a Bronco, but it's just the way the NFL works.
Definitely a hot take because I don't see it happening.
I don't know.
I can see it happening, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Again, hot takes.
Yep. Hot take.
Hot
spicy.
Take. It's spicy, and I would hate to see it.
It's sriracha over there, man.
And that was a Carolina Reaper drop right there.
Let's hear it, Edgar.
Oh, me again?
Oh, wait, you already went, huh?
Yeah.
We're going back around. My bad. Whatever. Who could? There's no.
I mean, I can go.
There's no structure to this.
I know. I had one. I got another one.
Throwing some hot takes out. Let's go.
I got another one. So, I already brought up this player once before, Tarheed Still. Or Still. I call him Tarheed Still because he's a cornerback. He can steal that ball away from you guys. He had 4 interceptions last year as a 5th-round rookie. He's going to double that this year, going with 8 interceptions. He plays all over the field. He's mainly been a slot corner, but he's moved around to the outside. Had a couple picks last year on the outside. Whenever he was pressed in at the beginning, he was pressed into the starting role as a slot corner, and then we had other injuries, so he had to move to the outside. Did just as well on the outside. That way, they were able to bring in Derwin James to the slot. So they all played off each other. They all played well in that zone scheme, which Minter likes to run. And I feel like if he did that as a rookie, with uncertainty behind him, not knowing the playbook as well as he does probably now, not being a year in the same system with a full training camp, not worried about his spot, not worried about making the team, just worried about getting better. I feel like he'll reach that, doubling it from 4 interceptions to 8.
Love your rule of just doubling.
Doubling.
Again, 8 interceptions is going to put him in the top 2 in the league, and we're just basing that based off of we're just going to double.
Because he's going to get a lot. He's going to be the starter this year. He wasn't the starter until like maybe week 7, 8 last year, and that was out of necessity. So I feel like this year he's guaranteed almost a starting spot. I think he's guaranteed a starting spot either on the outside or in the slot. And when they go into the nickel package, then he'll move outside. Derwin move in. Or they go into the quarters, and then they have 4, and he'll still be in there.
Yeah, just because you're guaranteed a starting spot doesn't mean you're going to put up 8 interceptions.
More.
I mean, Marlon Humphrey, Baltimore, he had 6. He was a starter.
Yeah, but the year before, what did he do? He probably was a starter.
So he had 3. You're just guessing he had 3.
No, I'm saying that he had 3, but I'm saying more opportunities will. I feel like we'll get him more picks.
I mean, it gives you. I don't know. I guess it gives you more opportunities, but still, I mean, you're looking at 8 puts you at number 2. Marlon Humphrey was at number 3 with 6. All right, man. That's again another hot take.
We're hot today.
Just Dublin.
And we're not even in Ireland.
All right, Edgar, you want to throw out another one?
Yeah, so I think that Chip Kelly is going to end up making his offense one of the top. I was going to say top 5, but I'm going to go say top 10. It's going to be a top 10
you don't
offense.
Want to get that hot.
He's just lukewarm today.
All right.
Excuse me, sorry. I believe with the weapons that we have, with Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Jack Bash, Dante Thornton, every single player, every one of those players has a specific style of
Ashton Genty.
Yeah. What did I say?
You forgot him.
Oh,
you led with Myers and you forgot Ashton
Well,
Genty.
I was saying mostly pass catchers, but he can also catch, but
yeah.
Every single one of those weapons plays very different. Jack Bash is really good on the slot, but he's also good on playing out wide. Thornton Jr., he's just going to be our speed guy. So I mean, if they leave him one-on-one with anybody, I mean, as long as they can keep up with the 4-3, then we'll see how it goes. Jacoby Myers, great fucking football player, great hands, and Brock Bowers, pretty much same thing. Great player, great hands. So it's basically pick your poison. So I believe that offense is going to be one of the top 10s in the
NFL. That is super spicy.
That's pretty spicy. I have a hard time believing that Geno Smith could lead a top 10 offense, but
especially with all the uncertainty. Yes, they are very talented with all the rookies that you guys have, but they haven't proven anything.
And also, you led with on the wide receiver room. You led with Jacoby Myers, and that's. I mean,
I would have loved Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Geno. Well, I mean, it's not about leading with whatever, but Geno Smith had a better wide receiver core over there in Seattle with Metcalf and Lockett than he did with Myers. I mean, obviously he has Bowers, and that's a big upgrade for sure.
Yeah,
with Myers and that's combined, they only have one drop. All of 2024.
Besh wasn't in the league in 2024.
But he still only had one drop in NCAA.
Besh is going to win Comeback Player of the Year this year, bro.
He hasn't even played in the NFL. He isn't even classified as a rookie.
Yeah, that's a pretty hot take. I don't know about 10. I don't know what they finished
No, I don't think so. You're lucky if you get top 20, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they do have the weapons. I would.
No, yeah, I'm not saying they're going to be dog shit 32nd, but if you get to around 2017, if you get to 17, that's overachieving. I feel like Chargers didn't have a good offense last year, and they already had some key pieces in there, 1 to 2, at least like the offensive line on the outside, the quarterback. I guess that was it.
Shit. Oh man. Well, let's only do 2 today because I mean we could save some for next week. We're already running up on the hour mark. So I'll just drop one of these that I prepared. We talked about Monix a little bit. So I'll save him. Here we go. Caleb Lohner, the tight end the Broncos drafted in the 7th round. 6th round? 7th round.
I think 7th.
7th round. The basketball player out of Utah and BYU. Yeah. He's going to catch the first touchdown week 1 for the Broncos. He had 4 catches in college for 4 touchdowns. For 4 touchdowns. So, look, Caleb Lohner, obviously going to be a specialty player. I was just reading a story before we started recording that when Sean Payton drafted him, he told him that he's going to make him the next Jimmy Graham. So, obviously, he has big plans for him. Those plans may not start this year, but Sean Payton likes to open up the playbook a little bit week 1. Edgar knows about that. Started with the onside kick, his first game as the Broncos head coach against the Raiders in week 1.
Can't do that no more. You got to announce it.
Can't do that anymore. He likes to catch people off guard, and when you get into the goal line situation, and you got guys like Courtland Sutton, Evan Ingram, you just line up Caleb Lohner in there. Nice and secretly, have him just kind of sit down in the middle there at whatever 6'7" he is.
I don't know how secretly you can line him up out there. He's big as hell.
Have him out there against maybe like a corner or a slot corner, and just have him just sit down and just bully him and catch that touchdown. I'm gonna, again, hypothetically, I do not bet it illegally. Anybody that's listening in Denver, Colorado that can bet illegally or bet legally, excuse me, place that bet. Those odds are gonna be through the roof. Put $20 on it and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe next time that comes back up on the ballot, everybody else will be on the same page as we are and let us just make our own decisions.
I hope so, man. I just want to bet on football.
But we don't here in California. The rest of our peers said that we're not allowed to. So
no, we're not allowed to. Hopefully soon. Anyways. That's my last hot take for today. We'll save some for the next couple of weeks. We got weeks to talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about here.
But, I mean, we do have football at the end of the month.
We do. July 31st.
Chargers football.
Hall of Fame game. Finally some football to watch. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of people that interacted with us on Instagram and YouTube. Starting with YouTube last week. MKBY88. He's a Bronco fan. And fan of 2 times chain snatcher Tuli, but he has to go Woodson, so he kind of let me down. But it's still kind of a funny comment, mentioning Tuli's chain snatching.
Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, I wonder if he really put just like with the team or just like overall record or overall career.
Yeah, I mean we had Tuli.
Yeah, but I mean overall career probably had to go with Woodson.
Yeah, for sure. All of the when I put out the poll on Instagram, Woodson won as well. So
yeah,
I don't know if people thought differently than us. Except for Edgar.
Definitely.
Yeah,
except for Edgar.
No, they definitely were on my side.
And then again
I guess we got a lot of Raiders followers.
Instagram, we got a lot of new followers there. Thank you to anybody that followed us there and then coming over to YouTube to watch the pod. put out a quick little questionnaire for people to throw in their hot takes for next year. Robert_1, my guy. Broncos win AFC West. Love that. I'm right there with you. I don't know if these guys agree with me.
Not happening.
But I love that take. I agree. This one, not so much. Not my guy. Although cool first name, Alex Duran. Broncos finished last place.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know, man. I think.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
I think the Raiders still hold that, even though they'll be better next year. What do you guys think?
See it happen.
I definitely can't see it happening.
Man, if that happens,
see it happen. If
I'm quitting the pod.
Alex would literally quit the pod.
If Bo isn't anywhere near what you think he is, then I can see that happening.
I don't see it happening. But Alex Duran, shout out to you. Thank you for responding.
You're the man.
Give us a listen on YouTube, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Then this guy I actually had a little back and forth with on DMs, very respectfully. It was a fun little back and forth.
Nice.
His tag is Rafonzi.
Rafonzi?
Rafonzi is his Instagram tag.
Or dope, like you're the Fonz and then somebody else?
There's no Z in there, so I don't know if he's making a reference to the Fonz. He also might be a little too young to understand the Fonz, but he's definitely a Chargers fan, so he's
one of the 9.
Yeah, he's one of the 4 of them. His response actually really cracked me up. He said, "Blow Nix is Herbert's son." That's funny. Blow Nix.
Blow Nix. Yeah. Love it, Fonzie.
And Chargers sweep the Broncos, Raiders, and the Queefs.
I mean, they did that to 2 of the teams last year. Yeah. They just got to do it to 1 more.
Yeah. So, shout out to him. Thank you for listening and the interaction. Appreciate the back and forth. Let's see. Drew Angle, he was right there with me too. Justin Herbert is so overrated. Again, I've been talking about this for years, and we'll continue.
Seems like you're the only one that overrates him. There's a lot of hate on Justin Herbert.
No, there isn't. He's always talked about it as like a top 7 quarterback. Yeah. And maybe when it comes to the regular season, he's a stat merchant. He throws up them stats. But again, next coming of Phillip Rivers, next coming of Dan Marino, he ain't going to do shit in the playoffs.
At this point, he's better than Bo Nix. So
at this point, Bo Nix has 1 season. And then
done worse in his first playoff game. So.
And then our boy Junior, he also comes after the Broncos, says Broncos will flop. I don't know what he's really talking about.
Junior knows what he's talking about. Just saying.
Not even start.
I don't know what he's referring to.
So Junior,
shout out you. Yeah. So again, shout out to everybody that has newly followed us on Instagram. Anybody subscribing to us on YouTube. If you're not subscribed to us and you're watching to this point, why not hit the subscribe button? Really appreciate you. We're going to keep dropping these every week, even during this dead period here. Instagram handle is Third and Thirsty Podcast.
That's Third and Thirsty, the word and.
Not the ampersand, but the and. You're going to find us there. You're really going to have to look for us because we're still scratching the surface of Instagram. And we'll get back to it next week. No idea what we're going to talk about. We'll probably drop some more hot takes. Maybe we'll look closer into the Hall of Fame game. I don't know.
Yeah, but hey, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your uncle, tell your grandma, tell them to all watch the Third and Thirsty.
Tell people about us. Keep watching if you are. Again, really appreciate anybody that is. We're having a good time doing it, and we'll do it again next week. So, 215 days until Bo Nix wins his first Super Bowl. Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.